Hi, welcome to another episode of Miss Erica's Crazy Costume Catastrophe. This week, Miss Erica is dressed like a prisoner in jail because we're learning about Paul being a prisoner. Let me out of this joint! Ah! Here's where we're at on our Big Bible timeline. This week, in the Bible stories that we're looking at, Paul is going to go from Jerusalem to Caesarea. In our story this week, Paul kicks off his third missionary journey. You know what's interesting is that the other missionary journeys that Paul goes on, he chose to go on those missionary journeys. But Paul's third missionary journey, the entire thing takes place while he's a prisoner. But what's cool is that everywhere he goes on this missionary journey, he tells people about Jesus. So that's why people call it his third missionary journey. Even though he's in jail, he's still telling people about Jesus. We learned on Sunday at Family Large Group that Paul was in Jerusalem at the end of his second missionary journey. He goes to the temple, and there a mob gets upset with him because they've heard how he's telling Gentiles about Jesus. And this mob surrounds Paul, and they start beating him up. And then the Roman guards have to come in and actually rescue Paul because they're worried he's going to get killed. So they grab him and they actually put him in jail for the night. And that's where our story kicks off today in Acts 24. So Paul's in jail for a few days. The Romans are still trying to figure out why everybody wants to kill this guy and what he's done wrong, which is actually nothing. So Paul's in jail, and then a different group of people decide that they're going to attack Paul while he's in prison and kill him. So the Roman officials hear about this plot from Paul's nephew. They don't want it to happen. So they sneak him out of Jerusalem and send him to a town called Caesarea. In Caesarea, Paul meets a man named Governor Felix. I got my friends Emmy and Eliana to make a video out of Legos to show us what happens next. Take it away, girls.
Later, Felix came with his wife Drusilla, who is Jewish. He sent for Paul and listened to him as he spoke about faith in Christ Jesus. As Paul talked about righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come, Felix was afraid and said, "That's enough for now. You may leave. And when I find it convenient, I will send for you." At the same time, he was hoping that Paul would offer him a bribe. So he sent for him frequently and talked with him. When 2 years had passed, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus. But because Felix wanted to grant a favor to the Jews, he left Paul in prison.
Thanks, girls. I love that Lego jail. Want to make your own Lego jail at home? Be sure to check out my parent email for lots of ideas on how to explore Acts 24 through 26 together as a family. So Governor Felix goes to visit Paul. While he's there, Paul tells Governor Felix all about Jesus and his beautiful kingdom. And Governor Felix is like, "Okay, I'll decide what to do with you tomorrow." And this keeps happening. Governor Felix comes back over and over again for 2 years to talk to Paul. Some days he just dismisses him and ignores what he has to say. Other days he's hoping Paul will bribe him to get out of jail. But every time he comes and visits him, Paul tells him about Jesus for 2 years while Paul's in jail. Paul is stuck in jail, guys, in prison for 2 years. And even when Governor Felix stops being the governor, he leaves Paul in jail. But Paul knows how important it is to tell people about Jesus no matter where he is. Sometimes you and I might think, this is not a good place to tell people about Jesus. I'm on a walk right now. Or I'm at soccer camp today. Or I'm at work in a meeting. This is not a good place to tell people about Jesus. I'm going to wait until I'm in a better place to tell people about Jesus. But you know what? Everywhere is a great place to tell people about Jesus. There are people all around us who have not heard Jesus' story yet, of how good he is, of how he's king, and how he died for them. And they can have new life if they make him their king. And sometimes Jesus puts you and me in difficult, hard places because there are people there who need to hear about Jesus. This week, dump out your Legos. Then make somewhere that you think is a hard place to tell people about Jesus. Maybe it's scary to tell people about Jesus there. Maybe it's uncomfortable, or maybe you just don't even know how you would tell people about Jesus in that spot. Make it out of Legos. Then take turns as a family putting your hand on top of the place that you made and saying, Jesus, please help me to tell people about you no matter where I am. Thanks for watching another episode of Miss Erica's Crazy Costume Catastrophe. Bye! All right, I gotta bust out of jail by Sunday because we're gonna have another family large group at 10:30 a.m. at Lake Accotink. We're gonna be at the large shelter again by the lake. So I hope to see all you guys there. It's been so much fun to be the church with all of you.
You tired of being in jail? Don't you wish you could just get out? No, lots better than here. Whatever. Guess I'll just do it myself. Freedom, here I come.